I'm Banks.
I am Josh.
Odd places going. Take it, Josh.
Viral. So I'm very, very happy to say I am no longer ashamed. No longer ashamed.
No longer ashamed.
I've given up shame. I've been ashamed for the past 4 years. I'm no longer ashamed.
You're no longer ashamed. Ashamed of yourself? Or
Not really. I'm no longer ashamed to wave the American flag. I'm not ashamed.
no?
I have clothes with American flags on it, and I haven't worn any of them since 2016. I couldn't bring myself to wear an American flag.
Okay, now your background is military, correct?
No, not at all.
Oh, not at all. Okay, I thought for some reason I don't know why I got it. Okay, so you pre 4 years ago, you wore clothes that had American flag on it. Why?
Because we were a supporter of the world. We were part of the we were advancing science with lots of things we were doing that I was proud of. We weren't assholes back then. We weren't like intentionally being xenophobic and all these things. We weren't forcing away asylum seekers. We weren't putting children in cages. There's a lot of reasons why I was okay with wearing a flag. But since
Okay.
that stuff happened, I won't even tell people I'm American when I travel. It doesn't matter. I'm ashamed. I was ashamed,
All
but
right.
no more.
Is this the first time you've been ashamed? Or were you
Oh,
ashamed?
probably not.
No, I mean, is this the first time in your, since being an American citizen, or that you know of, that you were ashamed?
That I can remember. Yeah. I don't know if
Really?
I've ever been ashamed like this.
No
Yeah.
other, no other administrations that were in office that you were,
No,
all right. All right.
no. Wasn't a
So,
fan of some of the administrations, but I don't think I was ever ashamed. No.
okay. So you're saying now you're not ashamed. Now you are actually proud. Are you saying you're proud? Because you're going to go back to wearing those clothes.
Almost. We gotta, I think it's gonna take a little bit more time. There's some more healing that has to go on.
Okay, so here's the point. How much does a president affect your life on a day-to-day basis?
Almost nothing.
You're right. Let me back up. What about mentally? How does a president do that?
Still, not that much.
Okay.
Yeah.
So why why do you go from not being ashamed, from being ashamed to not being ashamed, not being ashamed to not being ashamed? Then if a president, if the person in charge of the country,
It's not the president that I'm talking about here. Our American flag was hijacked, in my opinion. It was hijacked by one side of the country. The side of the country that was proud that we were xenophobic, that was proud that we were able to let our racism come out, that was proud of pulling back from negotiations or from agreements with democratic countries and getting into bed with authoritarians. That they hijacked the flag for me. I couldn't wave the flag because I would feel like people are going to think I'm supporting that side, and I couldn't.
okay, before 4 years ago, when you wore your clothes that had the American flag, did people, how you reacted to that? How did people react to that?
I just figured I was an American.
Did
The
they,
problem
did
is
they,
the last 4 years, waving the flag was not an American thing. It was a one side of America thing. It really was. I felt like
okay,
it got hijacked. I felt like it got taken over.
okay. However, did people come up to you and say, Josh, I love your pants or whatever shirt or your headband or your bandana
Oh,
or
they
whatever?
do, but not because of the flag. I mean, people love my pants all the time. No, no, not because of the flag. No.
Okay, so you never once got a compliment or something about your flag or your
Not
clothes
much.
that you wear?
Maybe, but
No.
not.
So you wore. Why did you wear the flag back then? 4 years ago.
Because I was in general proud of what we stood for. The flag is a symbol, right?
Do you have a flag in the front of your house? That
No,
no flagpole? No. Are you thinking about getting one?
no, I never have. That's just, I really never have
Okay.
had a flag.
So you're thinking that someone hijacked the flag,
Yeah,
a group of people, let's say, or a side of America, hijacked it and used it um, in a negative, in a way that you were not proud of
correct.
being American. Okay. Okay. So how did you deal in those 4 years with feeling like you were represented by a group because they had power in the government. However, you were not a part of that group. How did you reconcile that? How did you deal with that?
I waited 4 years and I voted on the other side. It's that simple. That's what we do, right? That's what we do. I didn't like it. I voted the other way.
Right, right. So, if I hear you correctly, you voted one way 4 years ago, right? And you turned around and voted a different way. Uh,
No, I think I still voted the same way. I kind of saw the signs in 2016, even before.
yeah.
But yeah. And look, I've never been a big flag person. I'll be honest. I've never had a flagpole in my house. It was never a big thing. I would wear it occasionally if it was on a shirt or something else. Fine, no big deal. I never intentionally avoided it though until 2016. That's when I intentionally avoided the American flag. That's the difference.
Okay. So I mean, and it brings us to now and to this week. You, democracy, which is what we have, republic democracy, and this republic democracy is such that you get to say your voice, to state your case, to vote. And by doing that, you get a chance to change the narrative of that flag, correct? Yeah. If enough of you, vote.
Yeah.
So what did it make you feel when almost 160 million people voted, 30 million more people than in 16? I mean, how did that make you feel?
I felt great. That is democracy. I felt wonderful. And it worked. It worked.
Would it have worked if the other side won?
Yes, it still would have worked.
Okay.
I wouldn't have been happy about it, but it still would have worked.
Okay. So let's look at 2016.
Sure.
Did democracy work in 2016?
Our representative democracy did work. Yes. Yes.
So when we vote, whether it being 136 million or 160 million, when we vote, it works. Correct?
Correct.
Okay. All right. So that's the privilege we have in this country, because when we vote, we get to, everybody on that day, I've said this, everybody on that day is equal. Every single person on that day or that week or that month before you vote is equal, because everybody has one vote. And that, if election does not go my way, we voted. We democratically came out and said, hey, this is what we, as a group, collectively, as.
And we have the freedom, on top of that, we have the freedom to decide not to display the flag if we're ashamed with where the country's going. And that's what I had to do.
Or not wear the pants. Don't wear the pants.
Don't wear the pants. Yeah, I'm going to go pantsless. I like that idea. That's a great idea, sir.
Don't wear the pants. I'm wearing a red shirt today. What do you think about that? Is that like it's not a flag, however, it is
It's
It's not.
close. You got the white earbuds, the red shirt,
I get
and the blue
the
underwear.
blue. I get
Perfect.
the
You're
bluest
good.
glasses, the green actually. Um, so that flag represents a lot to you. I mean, it seems like it's kind of heavy.
It's a symbol. It's a
Yeah.
symbol.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm. It is. It is a symbol. I grew up not with a flag in the front of my house. I've never had a flag in front of my house. People have. I mean, that's the great thing about America. You can have a flag or not. You don't have to have a flag. Um, I see people with flags and they're happy, I guess, proud, showing their colors for the country, which is great. I wonder, we don't have time. I wonder if those that are wearing the flag are okay with paying taxes too.
Well, I should hope so.
Another
It's all or
time.
none, man. All or
Yeah.
none.
My name's Banks.
My name's Josh.
Places going viral. Boom.